What does that even mean, Bauer's Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review charged by BoardGameExchange.com, the internet's only board game rental website. Today I am very excited to be reviewing Kingsburg from Fantasy Flight Games. This is for 2 to 5 players, ages 13 up. It'll take about 90 minutes to play this bad boy. And in Kingsburg, you will be building a kingdom, trying to make your kingdom mighty so it can so it won't get attacked by goblins and all sorts of baddies and barbarians and whatnot. But you're going to be rolling dice and building these different buildings and trying to race people for victory points, and you're going to be juggling a lot of different things. How does the game play? Let's open it up and find out. Okay, so inside of Kingsburg, what are you going to get? First and foremost, you're going to get your handy-dandy rule booklet. For a 90-minute game, this rule booklet is only 8 pages, full-color, double-sided, and it does a pretty good job of explaining the rules to you. You really won't have too many questions left unanswered, which is always good. I want to mention right from the get-go, there's a lot going on this board in this game, so I don't have the time to explain everything to you, but I'm going to try and get you just a general feel for how the game works. First, I want you to see all these components. These are the components that are left in the box that I didn't put out. There is a boatload of them. There's cards and pieces, and there's gold and silver and wood. There's just a lot. So, what do we got? This is a daunting board. Let's just start right from the get-go. In order to win this game, you're going to try and get the most victory points. You're going to be going around on this track around the outside. You definitely want to make sure you're keeping track of that. In this game, everyone is going to get 3 dice, and these are going to be the heart of the game. You're going to live by these dice, and you're going to die by these dice. So we're just going to start. We're just going to throw down, and I'll show you exactly how the game is played real quick and loose. So you're going to decide the turn order, because the turn order will be fluctuating, and you're going to rearrange these depending on how the turn order goes. And shocker, you're going to roll dice to see the turn order, and you're going to see what season you are in, because in a year you are going to be going through 8 different phases. This first phase says whoever has the fewest amount of houses buildings would normally get an extra white dice. Obviously, for the first one, since everybody has 0, you just skip that and you move on to the second phase. So, this is the second phase. This is called a season. During the season, everyone is going to roll their dice. So we're just rolling them up. The dice are a little bit rounded, which is a little bit annoying, but not a huge deal. And you're going to see what you get. So yellow got 8. Blue got 11. Green got 8 as well. And red got 11. So we have, and black got, what did she get? 7. So we got a couple different numbers here. So red's going to decide first where they are going to play. So red has the option. They could just do 11 if they wanted and put all their dice right here. Then they could get a stone and a gold or a stone and a wood. They could play a 1 right here if they wanted and just gain a victory point and move on up 1 if they wanted to do that. Or they could play a 7 and get a +2 and any resource they want. This +2 is really, really nice if you want to get those. The +2 will let you add 2 to any dice roll. So you could turn this 6 into an 8 if you wanted to. But you can only do that once per season. These are very, very valuable. Or they could play 10 and a 1. But they only get to play one thing. So we're just going to pretend that they want to build up their battle technique. Because at the end, once you get to the 8th season over here, you're going to flip over one of these cards and you have to defend your kingdom. So it'll say zombies, and they are going to do 4 damage. So your battle has to be higher than 4. If it's not higher than 4, if it's 3 or below, you're going to lose 2 victory points. If it is higher than 4, then you'll gain a victory point. If you tie, you get nothing. But they will progressively get harder as you go through the 5 years of the game. But anyway, so red has decided that they are going to go with 10, and they are going to get 2 on the battle track. So they'll go up here, which is the battle track up here. They're going to go up to 2. And they are going to get this little pink symbol, which means they can take a peek at the monster. Only them. So this is very valuable. They now know that they have half of what they need to successfully not lose 2 victory points against the zombies. So that's very, very valuable. So they've done that. Now it's going to go to yellow. They had 7. So let's see. What do they want to do? They might want to go 5 for the battle, but they're probably just going to go all 7 because 7 is not a bad number. They're going to use all, that's actually 8, but since I can't count, we'll move it to 7. They're actually going to put all 3 of their dice there, and they will get 1 resource of their choice. So let's just say they take a gold, and they will get a +2 that they will put into their hand for next time. Next, we're going to go over to the blue. So he has got 11. Now, here's the thing. If he wanted to do 10, he can't do it because it's blocked. So he now has the choice. Does he want to do 6? He can do 6, but that's really not too good for him. Does he want to do 1 and get a victory point? No, he's probably just going to go with 11. He's going to get his 2 resources. So he'd get a gold, and then he would gain a, what is that? That's a brick. Next, we're moving on to the black. He has 7 as well, but the problem here is 7 is blocked, so he can't build there. So he's like, oh, crap, what do I do? So this is the point where you really got to start looking around, because blue used all their dice, so he's not going to be able to lay anything next turn. Yellow used all his dice, so he's not going to be able to lay anything any turn. So all he has to worry about is green blocking him. So he'll probably say, all right, I'm going to go with the 3. So he would gain 1 wood. Now, green is sitting here, and he's in a very interesting position. I always like to go last, personally, in this game. Some people like to go first. I like to go last because he sees that over here, this guy has the option of doing 2, or he's got the option of doing 4. So what he's probably going to try and do is block him, since he's blocked out of his 7. So he might say, all right, I'm going to go with the... Oh, actually, he might not do that. He might go with... I don't know. This is a really tricky decision. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There's constantly these difficult decisions you're going to have to make. So he's probably going to go with 4 here, and then this guy will go with 2 there, and then he'll go with 1, and they'll both kind of get shafted out of laying another dice. But anyway, you're going to collect all your resources and what have you, and you're going to move on to the next season. Actually, excuse me, you're going to build. I almost forgot one of the most important part of the games. Everyone is going to have their own little sheet right here. And on these are all these different things you can build. Some of them will give you victory points if you level them up. You have to start on the 1 and then make your way to the 2, then the 3 and the 4. So you can go down any one of these. You can mix and match and just go for all 5 and then all of these. But you're not going to be able to build all of them throughout the game. Some of them will help you on defense. Some of them will gain you extra victory points. Some of them will give you these little +2s. Some of them will let you, what's the word? They'll let you negotiate pretty much. So if you had, say, 15, then you could go 14, 15, or 16. They'll let you go up or down 1. There's a lot of unique abilities on this board, and this is really where the game gets real juicy, because a lot of different people will be going for different strategies. Because, one thing I forgot to mention is that if you get to level 8 and you successfully defeat this, and you have the most battle points or what have you, then you will gain an additional victory points. There's a lot of different ways to going around getting victory points in this game, which is one of the things I really enjoy about this game. Spoiler alert. But anyway, you'll move on to the 3rd season. If no one builds, or some people will build, some people won't build, you'll move on to the 3rd season. And this says, whoever has the most houses will gain a victory point. So let's just say Yellow built a house, and he's the only one that has a house. He would go up to 1 victory point. And, 1 victory point doesn't sound like much, but normally the games in this game are very, very close. Next, you're going to go to 4, and everybody's going to roll their dice again. And you're going to rinse and repeat and gain more and more pieces and build more and more things. Then you're going to go to 5. 5 is one of my favorite ones, because this is whoever has the fewest amounts of houses gets this little King's Helper dude. Now this thing is very, very useful. It will let you do one of 2 things. You can either build 2 buildings during the building phase, because normally you can only build 1, or it will let you play on something that's blocked. So let's just pretend that there's 11 right here. If you have this little dude and you have 11, you can say, all right, I am going to play right here, and I'm going to use my little dude. But you can only use it once during the time you have it. So if you got it here and you didn't use it at all, and it got back to part 5 the next year, then you lose it and the new person would gain it. But anyway, it's a very nice little ability. Next, you'll be going to 6. Everybody will roll again, collect things, until you get to number 7. On number 7, you have the option of trading in 2 of your resources for an extra spot on the battle track. Sometimes this is worthwhile, sometimes it's not, because I showed you earlier, this one said that, oh, if you lose, all you do is you lose 2 victory points. That's not a huge deal. But the more complex you get, really bad stuff can happen. Sometimes they will take your most expensive building. So if you've built all the way down to your embassy and you're super proud and it's giving you 1 extra victory point every single season, and you lose it, it's going to take you quite a bit of time to rebuild that bad boy. So you want to make sure that, not in addition to building all the buildings, you're also prepared for the battles at the end of the eighth turn. So there's a lot you're going to be constantly juggling in this game. But once you get down to the 8th turn, everybody fights. You're going to move on to year number 2. You're going to rinse and repeat until you've gone through 5 years. At the end of 5 years, and after you've got off your 5th battle with whatever huge behemoth monster you're going to be facing, or barbarians or what have you, you will total up the victory points. The person with the most victory points is the winner of Kingsburg. And that is a very, a very fast, kind of high and loose way of how Kingsburg is played. Okay, Kingsburg from Fantasy Flight Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros. Let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, there is a lot of luck in this game. You'll be rolling dice constantly. So if somebody just has really good dice rolls, they get lucky, they can and probably will crush you if they build good things. A lot of people don't like that much luck in their games. Also, this is the kind of game where you're going to be attacking people. You're intentionally going to be blocking people. You're going to be a jerk sometimes just to be a jerk, and some people just don't like that sort of game. Other than that, Kingsburg is one of my favorite games, and it is a game that you absolutely should play, and if you enjoy it, you definitely should buy it, because it is an outstanding game. Everything about this game is very well made and well crafted. I love the mechanics, I love the dice, I love all the components. The board is very functional and beautiful, and it looks cluttered, but at the same time, everything has a place, and they did it all very well. The rule booklet is pretty nicely written. I love the fact that they included the little charts where you can put all the different things you build, and you got all these little coins, you got these doodads. There's a whole boatload of components in here, which, if you wouldn't have done it right, really could have soured the game somewhat for me. But they did all the components right. I love the mechanics in this game. I love the rolling the dice and then trying to pick the different ambassadors, but the different kingsmen and saying, all right, I want this, and then I want that, and I want this. I love blocking people. I love being a jerk and saying, oh, that guy can only go on 6 or 3, and 6 is already covered, so I'm going to play this 3 here just so I can block him. I love being that jerk who does that. Overall, Kingsburg, if you cannot tell, is a game that you need to check out if you have not played it, because it is fantastic. It's right underneath Ticket to Ride for me. I love it with 2 players. I love it with 5 players. I love everything about this game. Kingsburg, Fantasy Flight Games. Go check it out. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was the review for Kingsburg. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bauer's Game Corner. Also check out BoardGameExchange.com, the nationwide board game rental service.